Hey, everybody, and welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
And the Lord of Puppies is with me as well. Say hello, SDA.
Hi.
And I am your host, the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey. How are you guys tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm all right.
So we do have an announcement to make, and I think a lot of you are going to be super excited. But tomorrow night we'll be having a guest on, and that guest is going to be my dad. So my dad is going to be on the Lords of the Night tomorrow. I know a lot of you, especially Bloodwing, have been waiting for that. So yeah, tomorrow that's actually going to happen. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
And another programming note, I will be here probably for the first few minutes of tomorrow night's stream, but then I have to get off and running because I'm doing Christmas shopping and then going to the Last Jedi tomorrow night. So yeah, I'll be here just for a little bit, probably at the beginning, to say hi to your dad and say hi to folks and maybe read a story, but then I'll have to split. So, and when I get back on Friday, I won't give any spoilers, but I will give people my overall review of whether or not it's worth seeing full price, let's say.
Oh, I can do that too because my dad and I are going to go see it on Friday during the day. So
cool.
Yeah. I ain't spending money on this shit till somebody tells me it's worth it. Somebody I trust.
Yep. I'll let you know.
I'll probably go see it more than once anyway.
Yeah. Just because it's Star Wars?
Yeah.
Star Wars.
You would watch a bad Star Wars repeatedly at the theater?
Beautiful Star Wars.
Well, you know how you actually don't hate Frozen, but I saw Frozen 7 times in theaters. Like, I'm not above it.
Well, if it's a movie you actually like, but what if it sucks?
Well, it depends, because there's a couple people that I actually want to see it with, and it's more about going to see it with them than, like, if it sucked, I'd still want to go see it with them.
There's other movies out right now.
I know, but like it's I don't know how to explain that.
You're
There's
weird,
no good
I'm
rational
you,
reason.
okay.
I admit that I don't have a good reason.
Well, seeing a Star Wars movie every year now is kind of like going to see a Saw movie every year. It's tradition.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else going on before we start news?
That's all that I can think of for me personally.
Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and share our stuff.
Share.
Sharing is caring.
Basically, SDA is a corporate dog. Yeah, I'm Disney's bitch. I'm not gonna lie.
There you go. I'm sore. I actually helped shovel our drive today, guys. It is snowing like fucking mad here. On one of the local well, it's not local, but one of the highways around here, there was a 25-car pileup because of this fucking shit.
That's insane. I thought you guys would. Okay, like how much is it snowing though? Because I mean, I don't know. Like I can't relate. I live in Georgia.
Well, at one point we went out and cleared the entire driveway, and 3 hours later there was another 6 inches sitting in it.
Oh wow, that is a ton of snow.
Yeah.
Are you guys like prepared to deal with the snow? You guys get snow every year, don't you?
Yeah, but for some reason the plow trucks weren't out today.
Okay.
They like took the day off or some shit.
Seems like a bad day to take the day off, huh?
Well, what they do most of the time, when it gets this bad, they'll send them out, but they do the majority of their work overnight.
Gotcha.
Because it's a weekday, they did send them out. If it was a weekend, they probably wouldn't have had them out at all. But it was snowing so much, it didn't do a lot of good, you know?
Yeah.
Scott Gardner says, I feel you, monkey. I'm in the Saginaw Bay City area, and oh, holy Christ, this snow is awful. Yeah, it is just a shit ton. I can't remember a time in like the last 2 years it's been this bad.
You guys
and we're just starting winter,
year, don't you?
Oh yeah, we get a ton of snow.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. We get a lot of snow, and usually we'll get a snowstorm or two each year. We've had some pretty decent years the last couple of years. We had a couple of bad ice storms last year.
Yeah.
Thank you, Darkshade. Star Wars Christmas Special is best Christmas special. Vomits and Vomits a little in mouth. Yeah, exactly. Anyhow, so yeah, other than my weather report,
I was about to say, and monkey with the weather.
Well, no, I just think
Yes.
it's interesting because I live in Georgia where it's like a big deal if we get 2 inches of snow. So I don't know. And also, like in Georgia, even when we get snow, it's usually snow that ices over. Like we get ice storms more often than we get snow. So that's why I'm just like, so how does the snow work? How do you deal with it? How much do you get? How does it feel? Is it fluff? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go 20 questions over snow.
And this is a really, really fluffy snow.
Mm.
For those of you who don't live in snow areas, there's different kinds of snow. And this stuff is incredibly fluffy. You can't even make a snowball out of it.
I had an actual blizzard here once, like a certified by name blizzard. Yeah, I walked into a Dairy Queen.
You're an ass.
I was so ready for a cool weather report.
I know, right?
You're just like Dairy Queen.
Yes.
I'm so glad you're not going to be here tomorrow. Holy shit.
Yeah,
We've had real blizzards. So.
You're so glad I won't be. I'll be here for like the first 30 minutes or so. Probably.
No, that was such a letdown. I was so excited about the snow. I freaking love snow, and I thought I was going to get a snow story. And you were just like, I went to Dairy Queen. Screw you.
Thank you, Scythus. Is that how you say that? Scythus?
Scythus.
I always think I'm saying it wrong, so I apologize. Says sup monkey scribe SDA. Sup, how you doing?
If it's Scythus, then they might be the god
Scythus.
that's behind the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh, and Monkey, if it makes you feel better, Bay sent me a screenshot of her weather report, and she's in Sydney, and it's 107 degrees Fahrenheit, 42 Celsius, and it actually has like a chance of fire, is what it says on the weather report. Like,
it's hot when there's a chance of fire.
Yeah, there's it's like a chance, it's like a 20% chance of rain. No, there's just like a chance of fire.
Thank you, Dark Shade. Always fun to hear Americans complaining how cold it is while I'm cooking eggs and bacon on a concrete down under. The concrete down under, yeah. Well, you guys even your winters aren't that cold, are they?
No, they're not too bad.
I don't know enough about Australian winters. Anyway, so there's news I hear.
Yes, there's a little bit of news. Per the title of the stream, let's talk about the, I guess, the demographics of the voting that took place in Alabama.
Yes.
That's apparently important. Black women, this is from the HuffPost, black women played a big part in Doug Jones's surprise victory in Alabama. Meanwhile, almost 2/3 of white women voted for GOP candidate Roy Moore, accused of sexually preying upon teenage girls. Therefore, white women are evil.
They want girls to be preyed upon. I have a question.
Obviously. Sorry.
Going into yesterday, I don't remember anybody saying Roy Moore was going to win, except for Donald Trump. He was the only one and I don't follow Steve Bannon, so maybe him. But I don't remember anybody being really excited thinking Moore had a good chance. Am I wrong about that?
I don't recall that either, personally.
I think the surprise part comes from the fact that it's been so long since a Democrat won that seat in Alabama. I think that's probably it. But the notion that Roy Moore was a shoo-in, I never got that notion either.
Okay. No. I thought it was maybe just me.
I got the notion that, were any other Republican in that particular case, that it probably would have been fine, as in like fine for the GOP, they would have kept the seat. That's how I read it personally, but I didn't get the feeling of he's totally going to win. There's no way anybody else can win.
Let's see. Increased turnout among black voters, particularly black women, fueled Democrat Doug Jones's stunning victory in Alabama's Senate special election on Tuesday, demonstrating how crucial they are to the party's base. According to exit polls, an astounding 98% of black women who cast ballots, that's a good distinction there, voted for Jones, as did 93% of black men. Of course, that part is in parentheses because it's less important. Mm-hmm. While blacks typically vote overwhelmingly for Democrats, interviews by HuffPost prior to the election found that many African Americans in Alabama were not all that enthused by Jones's candidacy, and his campaign made some missteps in its outreach to them. But Democratic leaders were banking on intense opposition to Republican Roy Moore, known for his far-right views on an array of issues, spurring turnout among blacks. Also, local Democrats made extra effort to mobilize the black community to overcome GOP-backed voter suppression mechanisms. GOP-backed voter suppression mechanisms.
Well, this is from Huffington.
Hey, can you show me your ID, please, before you buy that beer? I mean, vote, is what they're talking about.
To woo black voters, the Jones campaign highlighted his role as a prosecutor in the case against two of the Ku Klux Klan members responsible for the 1963 bombing of a black church in Birmingham, Alabama that killed 4 African-American girls. And in the campaign's final days, several high-profile black Democrats joined him on the campaign trail, including civil rights hero Representative John Lewis of Georgia, Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, and Representative Terry Sewell, the sole Democrat among Alabama's 7-member House delegation. In statewide races since 2008, the black share of Alabama's electorate had been about 25%, but blacks ended up accounting for 29% of Tuesday's electorate, according to exit polls, and black women alone made up 17% of it. Okay. Meanwhile, almost 2/3 of white women, 63%, voted for Moore, who faced accusations over the campaign's closing weeks that he had sexually preyed upon.
Wait. I'm sorry. This is the second time they've done this in this article. Let me get my super chat real quick. Thank you, Terry Diamandis. If he was up against Roy Moore, he should have written his name as Doug Les Jones. Well played. Every time they mention white people, they tell us that he was accused of sexual assault.
Yep.
Why didn't we hear that they didn't vote for Moore, who was accused of sexual assault, when they're talking about the black women?
I'm also really curious why they don't give us the percentages, and I'm scanning through here. They never give us the percentages of what white men voted for, if they're going to make this kind of association that like white women are for child molesters and black women are not.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. That just pissed me off because that's the second time they've done it.
Yeah, they like to associate one with the other.
Anyway, I apologize.
Okay. Meanwhile, almost 2/3 of white women, 63%, voted for Moore, who faced accusations over the campaign's closing weeks that he had sexually preyed upon and in some cases assaulted teenage girls decades ago when he was in his 30s. Overall, Moore carried 68% of the white vote compared with 30% for Jones. Younger voters also helped propel Jones to victory. The exit polling showed him winning 60% of the vote from those 18 to 29 years old and 61% from those aged 30 to 44. He also held his own among those aged 45 to 64, which represented the largest slice of the electorate, 41%. Jones won 47% of those voters, Moore 51%. And that's the end of the article. I did want to read real quickly the headline from Washington Post article. It doesn't look like it's an op-ed. I can't tell. I'm not going to open it up. I just want to read the headline and tell me what you think of this. Many Alabama voters want Jones to represent them and to stand up to Trump.
That's your fucking job when you're elected.
Well, this is my response to this. I was like, yes, this is the result and implied intent of what we call voting. Wanting someone to represent you. Yes. Thank you, Washington Post. I appreciate that.
Inedible Trout says a paper bag. Oh, thank you for the donation. A paper bag that was labeled pro-life and Roll Tide would have beat Jones. Probably. the Jones is their new senator because Moore was a really shitty candidate.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Jones didn't win by a lot.
No, he didn't win by a lot. He didn't win by virtue of somehow he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. It really came down to media coverage. If there hadn't been all the media flack against Moore, he probably would be the senator right now.
Yeah, they haven't voted a senator in as a Democrat since 1992.
Yeah, and I heard on the radio this morning that a lot of analysts say that it's a big reason that Moore lost wasn't so much that Republicans were crossing the aisle to vote for Jones, it's that they didn't vote.
Yeah.
Is that they stayed away. So Democrats had an edge on that side. But ultimately, it means practically nothing, except for the footnote of a Democrat getting elected in Alabama. Jones is, like was said, he could have been anybody but Roy Moore, and he probably would have won.
Yeah, and right now, he's only going to be a senator probably for 2 years. He has to run in 2020.
Yeah.
Because he's filling Jeff Sessions' seat. I wanted to talk to you guys about this election because this election worries me. It really does.
What about it?
I have no problem.
Sorry.
I have no problem with people disliking Roy Moore for a lot of reasons. For those of you who don't remember, he was the Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court who refused to remove the 10 Commandments when he had been ordered to by the federal courts.
Right.
So, I mean, I get atheists not liking him. There's some talk about him not following the law well enough. So I get all of that. But to me, this election was lost based on accusations.
Yeah, for sure. I think so too. I mean, that was all the coverage. The coverage wasn't, hey, this person, doesn't care about the separation of church and state and isn't willing to comply with the fact that our laws are supposed to be secular, blah, blah, blah. It was, he might have diddled somebody or done something shady 40 years ago.
And I wouldn't have a problem with it if there was more evidence than he signed my yearbook.
And a lot of it's fake as well, especially once that got faked. Or once it was proven that part of that at least was fake. That was... that's also the tricky part of it. You know, if there was any kind of proof, then that would be one thing. But
now, my worry here is that this is going to bleed over more into more elections. But do you think that it was just able to work so well because it was a singular case? We didn't have a whole bunch of races yesterday. It was this special election. So do you think it would work, say, in 2018 for people to just be throwing where?
I don't know. I think another problem is that, sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. I think you're right in that this is an isolated thing where it's a special election and people are very on top of it. But when you have all of these elections going on, I don't think it'll be like that. On top of that, once you get to 2018, people are going to be so, raped out, honestly. And I think people are getting rape fatigue already, where they're like, I don't care if you were sexually assaulted, I'm just so sick of hearing it, which is sad for the people who, are actually victims of sexual assault.
Right,
but at the same time, when so many stories come out at the same time and they're all so big, it's just like, people are going to be so sick of it.
No, it's still going to have an effect because the people that actually matter, the fundraisers and the other politicians that have to back people who have allegations against them aren't going to want to get anywhere near an allegation because it's radioactive.
It didn't really matter for Trump that he had a ton of allegations at the end of the day.
Yeah, but don't you think Trump was a special case?
Yeah, I do. But I think that I think that there'll just be fatigue by then, and I just don't think people will care that much, honestly. Because, for example, Ben Affleck, people were trying to say that he got weird with somebody or whatever, and all that kind of went away. I mean, it really depends on how the person handles it, because whenever the people apologize and basically confirm that they're rapists or they sexually assaulted somebody, then that's kind of when it bites them in the ass. But when they don't admit it, it tends to kind of die down.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's what I think anyway. I could be wrong, obviously, because we don't know where we'll be with all of this in a year or so. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
It just worries me that so much of this was about accusation.
No, it's the new Red Scare. It really is. I mean, it's just, and I mean, we have had a couple other stories come out today just in relation to that. Tavis Smiley is pretty much fired. You know who Tavis Smiley is a talk show host on PBS, has been there for a long, long time, was on NPR for many, many years. Tavis Smiley's show suspended by PBS amid misconduct allegations. PBS has suspended distribution of Tavis Smiley amid troubling allegations against the news show's namesake host. The organization said Wednesday that it had hired an outside law firm to handle an investigation into the matter. Quote, the inquiry uncovered multiple credible allegations of conduct that is inconsistent with the values and standards of PBS, and the totality of this information led to today's decision, a statement from PBS reads. No details about the allegations were released. Smiley did not respond to a request for comment. That's probably the smartest thing to do, rather than like release a statement saying, I'm sorry for all the bad things I did.
Yeah, no shit.
Tavis Smiley, 53, is a longtime radio commentator, TV talk show host, and author. His 30-minute interview show, Tavis Smiley, has aired weeknights on PBS since 2004. Walmart is among the sponsors that help fund the show, according to the show's website. He is known for addressing social justice issues, including race relations and poverty. Yeah. So,
well then,
yeah, yeah. You know, it's a new Red Scare, and you know, not surprisingly enough, it blossomed in Hollywood, sort of like the Red Scare did back then. You know, celebrities and stars and things like that. It's the new blacklist, and I'm not saying necessarily that the people who have been highlighted aren't guilty of something. I mean, most of them thus far have admitted, in open terms or otherwise, to having committed wrongdoing against people. So yeah, they deserve what they get. But as this goes on, you're going to see, and we already had one from, I think, the New York Times. They fired a guy the other day on simply an allegation, not even any proof of anything. They just fired him right off the bat. And there's some looking into that as to whether or not that was proper. Yeah, this isn't going to go away anytime soon. And even if the public gets, or let's say the silent majority gets sick of hearing about allegations all the time, the problem is, if they're true and or can be substantiated, they're still true. And if someone's trying to run for office, if somebody's looking to get on a TV show or anything else, they will be untouchable instantaneously, and it'll still go on. So yeah, it'll still be a factor if it comes up in 2018 with anybody. We're every day we get a new one. It's not going to go away anytime soon.
All right. What else we got today?
Let's see. We talked about Tavis. We talked about the Roy Moore thing. Oh, hey, you guys ready to go to war with Iran?
Yay! Wait. Sure.
Nikki Haley vows to present irrefutable evidence that Iran deliberately violated international obligations. Nikki Haley, the United States ambassador to the United Nations, is set to lay out Thursday what the Trump administration claims is, quote, irrefutable evidence that Iran has deliberately violated its international obligations and has tried and failed to cover up those violations, her office said in a statement Wednesday. The announcement will come as the UN presents a report today on the implementation of UN Security Council Resolution 2231. That's the resolution that endorsed the Iran nuclear agreement, known formally as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, and calls on Iran not to undertake any activity related to ballistic missiles for 8 years. It remains to be seen whether the Trump administration will seek to punish Iran for the alleged violations, but Haley's announcement comes a month before the January 13th deadline by when President Donald Trump must again certify whether or not Iran is in compliance with the nuclear deal, which was negotiated under the Obama administration, and also decide whether to extend a waiver on sanctions. So, yeah. A UN presentation of evidence that a country is engaging in the production of weapons of mass destruction. Where have we seen this before?
Sounds familiar, vaguely.
Did you just get Sithis?
I had not.
Yeah.
Sithis, thank you. I have a serious problem with people being immediately condemned on the basis of an accusation. If there's proof, it needs to be made public. I agree, and that's what really bothers me about this. I honestly don't give a fuck about Roy Moore. Not one little fuck.
Yeah.
And I just want to say,
but
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I just think it's interesting because I was talking about, fatigue and, Peter was laughing at how I worded it, but people get raped out. And I think it's funny because you can see it in our chat where people are really sick and tired of hearing about all these sexual assault stories. People are all raped out. So I think, like Scribe has pointed out, if it does continue to be a big deal, it'll be behind the scenes and not in the public eye.
Oh, I didn't say it'd be behind the scenes. It's still going to happen. Like I say, we may be sick and tired of hearing about it, but if you get a guy who's accused of something and he issues an open-ended apology, then it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. He's pretty much sunk himself because PR-wise, he's untouchable. If you get somebody like Roy Moore, who never admits to anything, it doesn't really matter because it's still going to be a mark against his favor because of the suspicion of it. And, you know, like with Bill Cosby, you have 18 people come out saying that he did something awful. The where there's smoke, there's fire theory is somewhat unavoidable, even if it's all baseless. You know, in the moment that's necessary, the vote or the getting of a job or something else, that's where it's important, and that's all that matters. So, no, it's still going to go on. In the case of Tavis Smiley, at least he's keeping his mouth shut for the time being, which is the smartest thing to do. But no, it's not going anywhere, and it'll still be in the news because it'll come up when a celebrity has it happen, and that's what makes them a celebrity. They're well known, and it'll be important, and it'll just keep going on.
Yeah, I just have a problem with how much accusation played a part here.
Yeah,
I do think the Republicans dodged a bullet on this, though. I think not having to answer questions about Moore for the next 2 years at least helps them in the long run.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about Roy Moore anymore. And Doug Jones will probably fade into obscurity within 6 months. So whatever. I'd rather talk about something important.
He'll lose in 2020 unless they run a really horrible candidate again.
Mm-hmm.
So it does. I did see something today that I think it was a headline on Drudge that the balance of power is shifting. I'm like, it's really not. It's really not.
No. The balance.
No. Oh yeah. Bloodwing says I missed Darkshade super chat. Sorry, Jesus. Thank you, Darkshade. Rape is like so 2017. Yeah. God, guys, I appreciate every dollar you get. So when we say this, it's not against the thing. I hate those because they don't pop up and stay there.
Yeah.
Like every other donation. YouTube needs to fix that shit. So anyway, what story we were on?
I was talking about Iran, but yeah, so.
Oh yeah, Iran. So yeah, we'll.
Yeah, but I agree. I think
a race to see who we go to war with first.
Sorry. Mm. I think YouTube needs to stop treating $2 donations like they don't matter. They do. We like them.
Speaking of donations, did you guys see Patreon reverse themselves?
I got the email. The subject of the email, which made me so happy, just because it was funny, was we messed up. No, it was we're sorry. No, it was we messed up. We're sorry. Was the
Yeah. The exact title is we messed up. We're sorry, and we're not rolling out the fee changes.
After we've all lost patrons, but that's fine. Patreon, that's fine.
Whoa! Breaking news. Representative Dan Johnson of Kentucky has committed suicide while under investigation of alleged sexual molestation charges.
Damn.
Yikes.
He posted essentially a suicide note on Facebook. It reads as follows. The accusations from NPR are false. God and only God knows the truth. Nothing is the way they make it out to be. America will not survive this type of judge and jury fake news. Conservatives take a stand. I love God and I love my wife, who is the best wife in the world. My love forever. My mom and dad, my family, and all 5 of my kids and 9 grandchildren, 2 in tummies, and many more to come. Each of you are a total gift from God. Stay strong. Rebecca needs you. God, okay. 9/11. He goes off on here. He's nuts. 9/11, 2001. World Trade Center, PTSD 24/7. 16 years is a sickness that will take my life. I cannot handle it any longer. It has won this life, but heaven is my home. Please listen closely. Only 3 things I ask of you to do. If you love me, is to blame no person. Satan is the accuser, so blame the devil himself. 2, forgive and love everyone, especially yourself. 3, most importantly, love God. P.S. I love my friends. You are my family. God loves all people no matter what. And then apparently kills. I don't know. Doesn't say how, I guess.
Well, we don't really want to say how anyway. It's against the
either way,
the guidelines about preventing people from self-deading.
So that happened.
Do we know
I
what he
guess.
was accused of exactly?
So let's see. Johnson was accused of molesting a 17-year-old girl at Heart of Fire Church in 2013, where he was the pastor. He was never charged over the accusations, but was under investigation. Around 5 p.m. on Wednesday, Johnson posted what appears to be a suicide note. Yeah. So
Wow.
Yeah. I
Wow.
guess that just happened. The governor.
Yeah, if it says how, sorry.
The governor of Kentucky has confirmed it on his Twitter about hearing about the death. So yeah.
Yeah, if it says how, it's usually better just not to say it publicly because that's the suicide prevention guidelines. No, I know. I'm just saying, like,
I break all their guidelines. I don't give a fuck about that.
Well, I don't know.
We mentioned August hung herself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, whatever. Fine.
Just throwing that out there. 17 and molested. That seems weird to me.
Yeah, especially in Kentucky. That's like an old man at that point.
Yeah.
Or an old person. I'm making a joke about it.
Probably on her third kid by then.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It'll be her kid/brother.
Shall we go on to MSS Schnuzz?
Yeah. Let's see what that has for us today, because the news itself has been entertaining so far.
Yep. Guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to take a look at during the course of the stream, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but we'll definitely take a look. And we talked about the cartoon cow butt yesterday. So, what's this? This one comes from Joel McLaughlin. We can touch on net neutrality briefly. Ajit Pai, our FCC chairman, blames Cher and Hulk actor for ginning up net neutrality support. Cher and Hulk actor, okay. Internet users have made it clear to U.S. telecom regulator Ajit Pai that his proposal to scrap net neutrality rules is unpopular with the masses. But with 2 weeks left before the Federal Communications Commission votes to eliminate net neutrality rules, Pai today blamed actress singer Cher and other celebrities for boosting opposition to his plan. Well, maybe they are.
Boosting opposition or just, informing people that you're an ass?
Is boosting opposition the same as like stating an opinion?
I guess
FCC chairman. In a speech hosted by conservative group R Street and the Lincoln Network, Pai also addressed criticism from MCU actor Mark Ruffalo, actress Alyssa Milano, former Star Trek actor George Takei, who I'm surprised is even in the public eye anymore given things, and Silicon Valley actor Kumail Nanjiani, if I'm saying that right. Pai also claimed that Twitter and other web companies pose a greater threat to internet freedom than internet service providers like Comcast. Are you nuts? Private companies pose a greater threat to internet freedom. Yes, like internet service providers, FCC chairman. Jesus Christ. Let's see, and here's a quote from his speech. Another concern I've heard is that the plan will harm rural and low-income Americans. Cher, for example, has tweeted that the internet, quote, will include less Americans, not more, if my proposal is adopted. But the opposite is true. The digital divide is all too real. Too many rural and low-income Americans are still unable to get high-speed internet access. But heavy-handed Title II regulations just make the problem worse.
Bullshit.
What? They reduce
Here's the theory. The theory behind that is that the companies won't go to rural areas because they can't make their money back there. So if they were allowed to charge these other fees, have tiered internet or the throttling, sorry, word escaped me, then they could make back their money that way.
Oh, because the internet companies are so in the poorhouse right now.
They really are.
Yeah. So, yeah, Ajit Pai is a charlatan. He's an absolute charlatan in his claims about how this is all operating. Either he has absolutely no idea how net neutrality works, or he's the biggest liar on the planet right now.
Yeah. Did he work for, I forget who he used to work for, Verizon, I don't remember.
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it's not like this is his first trip down the net neutrality aisle here.
Mm-hmm.
Every time this has been brought up, the public's been like, net neutrality is what we need.
Yeah,
So
leave it alone.
to sit there and blame celebrities for it, fuck you.
It's Cher's
Fuck you.
fault.
It was Verizon. Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
Mark
Chad is
Ruffalo.
telling you it's Verizon.
Okay.
But real quick about this, because I want to address that. The claim that the telecoms are not going to expand because they can't make their money back because of regulation. The telecom companies themselves prove that false, because they were under regulation when they started fiber optics. There was no special way for them to make that money back. It was just a better product. So if these guys aren't expanding, it's because they're purposefully dragging their feet. They've done it before. There's no reason they wouldn't now. There's just not. Scribe having one on the rocks tonight.
Yeah, well, no, it's a Dr. Pepper on ice.
That came from Ian Graham.
I like my Dr. Pepper. Do you want me to read the blog post from Patreon on this, or?
We don't really have to.
Okay.
I can give you the gist of it. The gist of it is that they got so much negative feedback, they've decided they're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. They probably saw a ton of creators go over to Maker, whatever the fuck that's called. The new one everybody went to, I forget the name of it. And they're bleeding money from this. So
right.
They said, oh yeah, we're not going to do that, and they're going to figure out some other way to make their plans happen. Maker support. Thank you so much.
Maker support.
Chat's here to say the words I can't remember now.
That's right. Let's see. Boatman99 sends us this one. No, I don't want the ad. Go away, ad. Paris holds anti-sizeism fashion show after woman left homeless due to fat phobia.
Wait. No, nobody was left homeless because people were fat phobic.
Can't wait to hear this story. Okay. Paris is to host its first anti-sizeism day, including an extra-large fashion show, as part of a week against all forms of discrimination. Friday's event at the City Hall dedicated to the fight against grossophobia or fat phobia, comes after a woman hit headlines with her book on being fat in France, recounting how she lost her job and ended up homeless over discrimination. She currently lives in a youth hostel. I bet she didn't lose her job because she's fat.
Well, even if she did, are there no other jobs?
I guess not. Paris
she had the one job and she couldn't be fat for it.
There's only one job for someone who's fat, I guess. Paris Town Hall defines grossophobia as a, quote, specific form of rejection, disdain, hostility, and discrimination targeting overweight people, unquote. It can come in many forms, it said, from insults from strangers or the victim's entourage. From insults from strangers or the victim's entourage to discrimination from institutions, and can lead to guilt and self-hatred. Guilt and self-hatred are self-conjured emotions. I don't know what to tell you there. I mean, there's clinical depression and things like that, but organizers say the event's aim is to place the French capital at the forefront in the fight against discrimination. Quote, we have not found any public action in France on this issue. The fight against grossophobia, what grossophobia? Is that the French version? I don't know. Is conspicuously absent from the fight against discrimination. Well,
because there's a difference between not liking somebody because they have black skin and not liking somebody because they have way too much skin.
Oh, God.
Every time these fucking stories come up, we have to hear about rare-ass medical conditions that literally like 4 people in the whole goddamn country have, and like 10 in the whole world. But no, that's why everybody's fat, because of these rare fucking diseases. No, most people are fat because they eat too much and they don't exercise enough. Period.
Oh, I got to read this part.
That's what it boils down to.
So the fashion show, in regards to the fashion show, the event will end in a militant fashion show using non-professional models wearing large-size designer clothes. Militant. Militant overweight women on a catwalk. Yeah.
You know the great thing about militant fat people? They run out of steam quick, so you don't have to worry about it. You run 20 yards and they are huff and wind, so you're fine.
Yeah, I heard about this story the other day. This one comes from
somebody said real quick in chat. Somebody addressed the whole gross thing. Where was that?
Grossophobia.
Yeah, Net says gross means large in German.
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah, but I understand that. I just don't understand why they didn't just say fat phobia, grossophobia. I mean, like I say, maybe that's just the French version of the same concept. It seems to be. It's odd way of putting it. This one comes from Colleen Bernier, senior staff reporter. I read about this the other day, but I forgot to mention it. And it's going to play a video, aren't you? Because you're CNN, and that's what you do. Come on, get it over with. Okay, fine. Gay man who was denied a marriage license by Kim Davis is now running against her.
She still has her job?
Yep, she does. A gay man who was twice denied a marriage license by Kim Davis has thrown his hat into the ring to run against her for county clerk. David Ermold, an assistant professor of English at the University of Pikeville, announced his plan to run against Davis for the position of Rowan County Clerk in Kentucky. Davis made headlines in 2015 when she defied a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that legalized same-sex marriage and refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. She spent 5 days in jail for refusing to abide by the court's ruling. Among those who were denied a license was Ermold. I want to say Emerald. Ermold and his partner of more than 15 years, David Moore. Quote, "This is how gay people are treated in this country. This is what it's like. This is their experience. This is how it feels," Ermold said in an emotional statement after he was denied a license for a second time in 2015. On Wednesday, Ermold announced his intention to run against Davis on the platform of fairness and integrity. In addition to Davis and Ermold, 3 other candidates plan to run for the seat. The election is on May 22nd, 2018. Davis was elected to Rowan County Clerk in 2014. And previously worked for her mother, the county clerk, for 37 years. So it's a family tradition over there.
Yeah.
Let's see. How many more do you want me to do, Monkey?
Well, I didn't do anything on YouTube today. I'm going out on a limb here and saying SDA probably didn't either. So let's do a couple more.
Oh, this one here. Is this real? Well, it's the AP, so it's probably more real than other things.
Did you get mine?
Huh?
Uh-oh.
I put an MSS news in there. You'll like it.
Okay, I'll look for it in a second. This one is, if this is real. UK surgeon.
Wait, before you do it, can I do a super chat? Thank you, Dark Shade. When your moo-moo is getting too small, just pop over to Paris for the newest designer circus tent. Thank you so much. Anyway, go ahead.
UK surgeon admits signing initials on patients' livers.
Wow.
A British surgeon has admitted assaulting 2 patients by burning his initials into their livers during transplant operations. Simon Bramhall pleaded guilty Wednesday on 2 counts of assault in a case a prosecutor called, quote, without legal precedent in criminal law. Bramhall used an argon beam coagulator, which seals bleeding blood vessels with an electric beam, to mark his initials on the organs. Prosecutor Tony Badenoch said the brandings were, quote, an intentional application of unlawful force to a patient whilst anesthetized and an abuse of Bramhall's position. The 53-year-old surgeon resigned from the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham in 2014 after another doctor's discovery of what he'd done resulted in disciplinary proceedings. Bramhall is free on bail. He is due to be sentenced January 12th in Birmingham Crown Court in central England. Wow.
You know what? If a doctor gives me a new, what was it, liver?
Yes.
Yeah, he can sign his initials. I don't care. Seriously, who'd he hurt? I get it, I do, but yeah, that seems. Anyway, I need to read this super chat, and I appreciate the donation, but I fucking hate your name. The name is 100100100100111000000A10. Thank you so much for the donation. I thought you were gonna touch on the other story that came out of England today. I don't have it pulled up in front of me. Me and Irate Bear were talking about it, and he covered it on his video today. England has, for the first time, saved a baby who was born with his heart outside of his body.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. We can do that.
Let's see. Thoughts from the Dryer and SDA sent us this one. If the Washington Post is going to blanket on that. 1 second. The Washington Post really likes to remind me that I should be paying for their wonderful, wonderful journalism. Shelter dogs could go vegan in Los Angeles.
Oh, fuck you.
Los Angeles may soon be home to a lot more vegan dogs. Not at barbecues, har har, though one imagines that meat-free Franks are popular in a fitness mecca where vegan meals are easy to come by. No, the dogs in question are the 33,000 pooches that each year enter the city's 6 animal shelters and are fed, for now at least, traditional kibble composed mostly of turkey, chicken, and lamb byproducts. Those dogs' dinners could be swapped out for plant-based food under a proposal before the Los Angeles City Board of Animal Services Commissioners. The change, which commissioners could decide Tuesday, would make the city's shelter system the first in the nation to feed its canine residents a vegan diet, according to its chief veterinarian. Supporters, who include musician and animal rights activist Moby and the feminist lawyer Lisa Bloom, say that is one of the selling points, to make LA shelter dogs the vanguard of a meat-free movement.
So starve dogs. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Quote, if we adopt this, it's one more thing that proves to the world that Los Angeles really is the progressive capital, Moby, whose real name is Richard Hall, testified at the board's meeting last month. Yes, Moby, leader of us all. The idea was proposed by Commissioner Roger Wolfson, a Hollywood screenwriter, of course he is, who cited research that he contended shows vegan diets eliminate many health problems in dogs. Yeah, by killing them.
Yeah, no shit.
But he said rethinking the dog's meals is about far more sweeping matters. The environmental effect of a meat industry that produces the main ingredients in lots of dog food and the ethics of feeding animals to animals.
That's what they do, you stupid shit.
They're omnivores. They are designed by evolution to eat those things. If I have a piece of chicken, obviously, I'm eating an animal.
In other news, I fed Jinx a duck foot today.
Yay!
Like, you could see like the actual like bones and stuff and like the nails. It's like a dried out duck foot. He ate it in like 2 seconds. He was super into it, so I don't know. I don't think the dogs are suffering when they eat meat.
Real quick, thank you, Snubbirth. Now I have the image of this guy performing surgery on a vagina and putting his initials there and telling people, your mom's vagina knows my name.
That would have been a better use of that tactic, honestly. Like, let's be honest.
True. It's what's the word? Coincidental you bring up Moby on a day we were talking about false accusations.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how many people way back when Bill Maher had his show Politically Incorrect. Moby was a guest one night. And this was back during the second, I believe the second election of George Bush. And Moby said, as the internet, was just coming around and starting to, that people should go out there and spread any lies they could and just hope one of them stick to beat George Bush. That is a God's honest true thing. I've looked for that video because I watched it live and I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? And I just wonder if he's proud of himself.
Well, he's a billionaire, so probably.
He's a dick. I hope he chokes on his own fucking spit.
And who? I've never heard of him.
Moby? You probably heard his music.
Well,
maybe not these days. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've got one that I'll save for deep
I don't
topic
think anybody
time.
actually likes Moby's music. I think just horrible hippies like it.
Some of it was kind of catchy. I won't deny. Like the opening music to A Gone in 60 Seconds was kind of catchy. I mean, it's repetitive and it's not something you want to listen to over and over again, but some, not all. This speaking of human organs, this one comes from Signal Boost and is from Popular Mechanics.
Oh.
Electric eel-inspired generators. And Popular Mechanics doesn't want me to read this article to you because it put up an ad I can't get past. So never mind. I'll just read the headline. I can still see that. Electric eel-inspired generators could keep artificial organs alive in humans. And what little I can make out under the fuzz, new artificial organs may have a familiar slimy face to thank for their near future tech, electric eels. In a study published today in Nature, researchers at University of Freiburg in Switzerland and other schools reported a new bio-inspired power source. A series of 3D printed gel layers use charged ions to produce energy. Because it's a soft technology, it can be used more easily in biological tissue, which can also serve as a continuous battery source. So that's as much as I can get to you guys. So there you go.
All right. Well, that's cool. I'm all for finding out ways to keep people alive. That's awesome.
Let's see. And what was G Prime sent us a possible deep topic thing from Everyday Feminism. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit. And then I'll just read this headline, I guess, from Pink Hollow the Driver, or Eric the Driver, or just the driver. Uber charged a guy nearly $20,000 for a 20-minute ride to the hospital.
Damn.
Okay, I really got to know how that happened. Was it an error or something? Where was this happening? It doesn't say. How do you say his name? Hisham Salama. When Hisham Salama grabbed a Uber to visit a friend at Toronto's St. Joseph's Hospital Friday night, he was expecting to pay around $20. Instead, the app informed him that his bill for a 20-minute ride was $18,518. Quote, my first reaction was to just laugh because I thought it was probably just an error. But then about 20 minutes later, when I was with my friend, I thought, I should probably check my credit card to make sure everything's okay. Salama, who had opted for the metered taxi fare rather than the standard Uber X ride, told Vice. That's when he noticed there was a significant amount pending on his credit card. Salama, whose ride lasted from 5:14 p.m. to 5:35 p.m., contacted Uber for help. He said he was unable to get through to anyone from customer service, but received a phone call from the ride-sharing service the next morning. At that point, according to Salama, an Uber support representative told him, I can confirm that based on the pickup and drop-off locations of the trip you took, that fare is correct.
Bullshit.
What?
Captain Bramble's in chat. What did Uber do? Fly him there? Yeah, that's what the fuck?
Salama said he was told he could get back in touch with Uber if he had any other issues. Quote, I don't know on what planet a 20-minute cab ride equals to $18,518.50, he said. After Salama and his friends posted about the incident on social media, he ended up getting a refund and a $150 credit to his Uber account. Good.
No shit. How did that even happen, though?
I don't know. He told Vice the manager he spoke to said the support representative, quote, was confused with the trip and the issue, obviously. She was very nice, but again, I told her that this isn't the resolution to the issue, and I requested to have a fact-based conversation with the leadership, Salama said, noting he's frustrated at the amount of effort it took to get a refund. He was refunded by Saturday for the Thursday ride. If it takes an army of people to tweet and post online to interest you and for you to respond, that's a serious issue. Uber has not yet responded to a request for comment. Yeah.
Biting Chicken in chat says horse shit at that point you should give the car. Yeah, it would have been cheaper to buy a fucking car.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's
make sure you guys, if you're using Uber, check your receipts.
Let's see if there's anything else. Man found guilty for threatening to blow Justin Trudeau's head off.
Oh,
okay.
Good job there, dumbass.
I'm just reading headlines now if there's anything. Undercover Michigan police officers can no longer legally have sex with prostitutes. Well, thank God for that.
I feel like they should be allowed. Just a perk of the job.
For their undercover work?
Yeah.
Just to make like extra sure that she is really sucking your dick after you paid her.
Yeah, if
Just
how
in
do you
case.
know she's really a whore if she's not going to go down on you?
That's entrapment.
Oh,
But it's good.
you're not sorry, Scribe.
Okay. Do we want to go on to what little YouTube?
Yeah,
we
let's do some YouTube stuff.
Okay.
SDA.
Sorry. Still working on getting all the stuff ready for the everyday feminism thing. I should be able to film that in the next couple of days.
Cool.
I don't know how long it'll take me to actually edit the video and do the voiceover. It really just depends on how the whole thing is, because I purchased it, but I haven't actually gotten into everything yet. So I'll also have to like double check and make sure that I can film it, because I might just only be able to give you guys screenshots, whatever. So I just have to get all of that checked out, but hopefully by next week that should be done. So I hope you guys
Peter
are excited.
Hades says it's in Weeboment instead of entrapment. Well played. Any streams or anything coming up or that you've done?
I play Overwatch with Clever Jester on his Twitch channel a lot. I can put the link in the chat in a few minutes if you guys are interested in that. We've been playing some competitive actually, and we were playing the Maze Yeti hunt or whatever it was yesterday for the winter stuff, because they just launched all of that, and it's fun. And you can play with us if you play Overwatch on PC, by the way. We let people play with us, so.
No, I like women, so I don't play.
Well, you can play with me. Ew, never mind.
Whoa!
That's a wonderful offer, right up there with you offering me sex, but I'm gonna decline again.
That was an accident. That was such
sure.
an
That's
accident.
what they all say.
It was totally an accident.
Entrapment.
And look, if we're being technical on what I accidentally said, I told you to give me sex, so I really wasn't offering or like asking. I was demanding.
No, you were demanding. You were demanding sex, which
I was demanding. Like if you're gonna insult me, like let's get it right, okay? I was demanding sex.
There you go. And I don't blame you. I'm a pretty man. I didn't work on any videos today, but I have been on 2 live streams. This morning I woke up way early, and Bear and Misa were streaming, and they invited me, and I haven't streamed with just those 2 in a long time, and it was nice to have a chat with them because love both of them, and we go way back to the beginning of my YouTube career, so that was nice. And then I was supposed to be on Ghost Poo next week, but I realized I have a doctor's appointment, so I couldn't make it, so I jumped on there with them today and had a good time there. So, Scribbles, what about you?
I started working on my next entry into the Curriculum of Fear series. I found a report from PBS, of all places, not a Tavis Smiley report, talking about how the smart thing to do is teach preschoolers about race.
What?
Yeah, well, I'll save the rest for the revelation of the video, but that's the gist, and it's just beautifully stupid. But I'll get that out probably Friday, because I've got tomorrow's going to be a busy day with work, and then running around with the movie and going shopping and things. So
cool. All right.
But I also have ads, a couple of
ads.
I have 2 ads, both from Sanguine. And so, given the extra time I had there, maybe a little bit more involved than usual. The first one was Sanguine asked for a research ad, a movie about Herne the Hunter of Windsor Forest. And just as a quick backstory to why this ad ended up the way it was, or is, I should say, this character is most famously known from a Shakespeare play. Because apparently that is sort of the only real verified reference of this myth. It was built on later by other people. So as a consequence of finding out that it was related to Shakespeare, I got a little poetic in a little, let me underscore, not professionally poetic, a little poetic in the writing of this. In Windsor Forest, the trees grow tall and dark. In Windsor Forest, day becomes shrouded twilight. In Windsor Forest, his spectral hounds do bark. In Windsor Forest, the huntsman stalks you in the night. From Sanguine Studios, there grows an oak in Windsor Forest, ancient and twisted. Locals who pass by feel the dread presence of its guardian and know to stay away. But now, 4 college friends on a camping trip will disturb the hunter and become the prey. Will they survive or become just one more branch in the hunter's tree of captured souls? Find out in Herne the Hunter, Horned God of Windsor Forest.
Well done.
Let's see. And secondly and lastly, Sanguine asked for robotic augments. Very basic. And so I decided to, work it into the advertisement mythos a little bit. Do you suffer from skinny arms? Have bad arches on your feet? Wish that your fingertips could be connectors to interface directly with computer mainframes? Well, worry no more. Hi, I'm Big Al Johnson. I used to make oatmeal cookies until an unfortunate encounter with the grill of my ex-wife's Escalade caused me to lose my arm. It was then that I was inspired to try my hand at robotic augmentations. So here at Big Al's Android Appendages, we have the widest selection of robotic arms, legs, eyes, heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. And all of our parts are board certified and SDA approved. So if you can lose it to frostbite, you'll find a replacement at Big Al's Android Appendages. And for a limited time, buy 2 cybernetic eyes and get your 3rd one free.
Well done. I like how you pulled that back. Yeah.
Yeah, Big Al and his oatmeal cookies. So there you go, guys. Sanguine, hope you enjoyed them. And thank you guys for all the donations last night. Appreciate it.
YouTube drama time.
Well, what was that thing that, so I got to find it again, because YouTube posted some, like YouTube themselves on Twitter posted some video about how black women are all victims or something.
Oh, beautiful.
I'll try to find it real quick while you guys...
Well, the only drama I know of is Bloodwing. Made a video where he disagrees with us about the kid who got bullied.
That's right.
And I don't know if I want to tell people about it.
Well, just direct them to his channel.
Yeah, that's why I want them to go see Bloodwing's channel.
Okay. Well, go to Bloodwing's channel, guys.
Yeah, go watch. Not now.
Yeah,
do it in an hour.
Right now.
Go watch Bloodwing's video and see his take on it. I commented on there, so if you want to hear my comments on it, they're below his video. So go watch that.
All right, I found it. It's so this was posted about 2 hours ago by YouTube themselves, checkmarked and everything on Twitter. Quote, being a black woman in America today is learning how to defy odds in every single aspect of your life, unquote. Meet the women of Brown Girl Surf.
Brown Girl Surf.
Brown Girl Surf. And so I'm clicking on the thing. It takes me to a video, of course, but the title of the video is Women of Color Surfing as a Powerful Form of Resistance. I think I'm going to send you this link, Monkey, because you might want to do a video on this.
Oh, for fun. Yeah, please. All
right, so it's in the chat. Everybody can go take a look at yourself at Brown Girl Surf. That doesn't... and it's posted by Elite Daily. Elite Daily, why do I know that name? Are they like YouTube's own YouTube channel or something?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, they have almost 400,000 subscribers, so they must be good.
What was that that group who helps black people on social media?
Oh, White Nonsense Roundup.
Yes, real quick. Thank you, Jaeger Pony. Have some equestrian bits. You can't avoid the bronies. We watch you too. You know what? I think you guys are weird, but I love you. I like weird, so do you.
Jaeger Pony? It's the Hunter Pony. Uh-oh.
Hunter
Pony. The Hunter.
Anyway, I finally... What was their name?
White Nonsense Roundup. Are you gonna recommend this to them?
No, no. That would be great. I finally ran into them on Twitter.
Uh-oh.
I didn't go follow them after we talked about it,
Okay.
but I for some reason it popped up in my feed, and so I had to follow them. And what they were responding to somebody, and their post basically said, people start from different beginnings, and you can't. What was it? They say you talk about equality, but what about equity? And they say equity is the idea that we start at different points, and not everybody has the same,
No,
access
that's
to.
not what equity is.
I
Equity
know
is
that's
just
not.
justice, which is just an abstract anyway.
And I just asked them, well, what do you think should happen if there's a rich black man with a poor white neighbor for equity? They never got back to me.
Of course not. Rob from the rich to feed to the poor.
Your boy Pat is a brony. That is true. Pat, I have an idea for you. I noticed in your avatar there that you're wearing your pants very low. We can almost see your dick. Have you not seen this avatar? I mean, if you look, his pants are really low.
I'm just wondering where this is going. Bronies and low pants with dicks.
I think he should get a My Little Pony right above his dick. Right there where we see it in that picture.
What, like a tattoo?
Yeah. A nice white pony, too.
Oh, God.
Well, I think it would be funny. I think it would be awesome.
Oh, yeah, no, it would be hilarious. Your boy Pat says, I hang low, monkey. Do your ears?
I believe you.
Do they well to and fro? All right. Don't the ponies have tramp stamps? Yes, all of them do. All of them.
They're whore ponies.
Speaking of whore ponies, hey, would you like an everyday feminism article on gray sexuality?
Yes. Peterbilt wants to know why I was looking that low. Because Pat makes me feel kind of gay. Don't judge me.
Oh my God.
I was looking. I'm fine.
Oh, this isn't even a new article. This is actually, who sent this? It was, G Prime sent this. It's actually, this is posted February of 2016, but I'd never heard it before, so what the hell? What is gray sexuality? That's all one word, gray sexuality.
Sounds like old people fucking.
This was originally published on Bitch Media.
It's an asexuality thing, isn't it?
That's what it sounds like. But let's see. One of the biggest changes we can celebrate in our media over recent years is the increasing visibility of LGBTQIA plus people on screen. But what about people whose sexuality doesn't fit into any of those labels? That's covering the gambit, for fuck's sakes. Aside from straight people, that's covering the gambit. Okay, there are many people who think of themselves as not quite gay or straight. Those are called bisexual, especially asexual leaning and questioning people who struggle to find the right name for their identities.
Asexual leaning?
Yeah,
how can you be leaning asexual?
That's like being a little pregnant, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. What the fuck?
Filmmaker Christopher Stout, Stoudt, Stout, has an interesting new visibility project for people who don't fit neatly into any orientation. His video, I'm Gray Sexual, which explores his romantic life as a young gray sexual man.
Oh, fuck off.
Gray sexual is a term that covers the fluid area, the fluid area between people. The wet spot. Okay, gross. It explores the wet spot.
The wet spot.
The fluid area between people who are sexual and people who aren't.
There's no. Oh God.
While gray sexuality isn't usually under the asexuality umbrella, asexuality has an umbrella. Asexuality means you have none. There's no umbrella. There's no like gradient. It's the absence.
Yeah, but there is an umbrella because you can be like asexual but still like biromantic, and like so you can like want to have like a relationship, like a meaningful relationship with like a person, but like not want to do the fuck.
Well, I understand that.
What has happened to society?
I understand there needs to be an umbrella when there's a fluid
like
area.
Aromantic. You see, like you can be like a lot of stuff. It's like a spectrum, okay?
Now, I understand there needs to be an umbrella because of the fluid area. You need to keep your head dry. But this is just stupid. I hate the alteration of definitions to nonsense.
Millennials make me sad, and I mean that.
Everything.
While gray sexuality is usually under the asexuality umbrella, a huge term that includes a lot of different identities.
Of course,
asexuality is a huge term that includes. It's a bit of a misnomer. It's a bit of a misnomer to include gray sexual people in the same category as people who never experience sexual attraction or sexual desire in any circumstances. Yeah, that's not a umbrella. That's not a gradient. That's just the abs.
Cryptic, thank you for the donation. Fix Yo Streamlabs. I can't find anything wrong with it. I don't know why it's not allowing.
Oh, this is
I don't know what's wrong with it.
According to the, apparently this is a real place or a real thing. According to the Asexual Visibility and Education Network.
Oh, fuck me.
There's a link. I have to go to the link. Oh, please. Okay. All right. The Asexual Visibility and Education Network. An asexual person is a person who does not experience sexual attraction. Yes, thank you. Welcome to the Asexual Visibility and Education Network. AVEN, A-V-E-N, hosts the world's largest online asexual community, as well as a large archive of resources on asexuality. Okay. Unlike celibacy, which is a choice, asexuality is a sexual orientation.
No, it's not. Real asexuality is a fucking medical problem.
And it's not a sexual orientation. It's the absence of a sexual orientation. It's, asexuality is a sexual orientation like abstinence is a sexual position. No. Stop pushing nonsense to people who are probably have other problems.
So fucking stupid.
Anyway, I actually don't feel like reading any more about gray sexuality. Although I could read a blog post telling us how black women saved democracy.
I think it's great that people who embrace asexuality aren't going to have sex because that means they're not going to reproduce, and that's probably good for society.
Mm.
But it bothers me that we've gotten to a point in time where so many people are proud of not having sex. It's a biological imperative. I mean, if there is something in you that makes you completely asexual, there's a problem with your body, period. And yeah, they're pushing this on. Oh my God, this is fucking retarded. Fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Yeah, if you want to talk about something else, that's fine. But God damn it, people, go out there and have sex. It's good for you.
With anything you can find, a tree, a train station, do it.
Yeah.
Make sure it wants to do it back though. Like, I mean, if you don't want to like flop on some poor girl. Like, yeah.
The train station can't say no.
There's a reason they made hookers. If you can't find a woman who's willing to say yes, go buy one. They exist.
That's
Oh, it's Chatmort's birthday.
What? And she's stuck at the mall in a snowstorm. That's crazy.
Chat, are you on your phone?
Hey, Chatmort, are you on your phone? Because you should totally put us on speaker.
Yes, if you are on your phone, take out your earphones. We're gonna sing. I just want to know that everybody's gonna hear me. I'm egotistical. There we go. She says, "Yep." Okay, you ready?
All right.
And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Dear Chatmort.
Happy
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday, Chatmore.
Happy birthday, chat.
So, what were we talking about?
Happy birthday. Sorry.
Well, I have a blog post essentially from CNN telling us how Black women saved democracy. And if I read this, I'm going to sound like an idiot. But what else is new?
Well, that happens when you read CNN.
All right, here we go. America, you were in danger, girl. That is until 96%.
Wait.
That is how it begins. I am reading it as it is written. America, you are in danger, girl.
Who wrote this?
Kara Bolton, Kerra Bolton, like the Michael.
All right.
I love how like we're a few words in and Monkey's already like, who did this? Who's done this?
All right.
Who's
All right.
responsible?
America, you're in danger, girl. That is until 96% of African American voters saved democracy and human decency by defeating Republican Roy Moore on Tuesday in Alabama's U.S. Senate.
How the fuck does that save democracy? It was a vote. It didn't.
She's going to explain, Monkey.
Fucking, oh my god.
She's going to explain to us how this saved democracy, how a vote for a candidate saved democracy in a country where you vote for candidates. Okay, she's going to explain how this operates. Equally revealing in the exit polls was the widening chasm between white and Black female voters. This mirrors America's unspoken yet persistent whitewashing of feminism. Oh, I see where this is going. Okay. Nearly 2/3 of white women in Alabama voted for Moore, even though exit polling showed a slight majority of all voters believe the allegations of Moore's sexual misconduct were, quote, definitely or probably true. Moore denied the accusations. Meanwhile, 98% of Black women voted for Doug Jones, but many of those votes weren't as much cast for Jones as they were cast against Moore. Exactly. Who said the last time America was great was during slavery and championed eliminating all constitutional amendments after the 10th. This would include the 13th and 14th Amendments, which abolished slavery and promised equal protection under the law. Conventional wisdom suggests white women in Alabama voted for Moore. Wait. I want to start the sentence over again. Conventional wisdom. The day after conventional wisdom. Fuck you. Conventional wisdom suggests white women in Alabama voted for Moore because they identified with his evangelical and anti-abortion stances, as if Black people, let alone women, don't care about these issues. What? I
give up.
The data just don't support such assumptions. Black women, in fact, are among the most religious demographic in the nation, with 74% affirming that, quote, living a religious life is very important, unquote, compared to 57% of white women who were asked the same question. Okay. In addition, abortion rates among Black and okay, I think I see what she's saying. She's saying that the reason white women voted for Moore is because of his evangelical and stances and anti-abortion stances. And if that was the case, then why didn't Black women vote for him? Because they share those same values. Okay. In addition, abortion rates among Black and Latino women dramatically decreased between 2008 and 2014 compared to whites during that same period, according to an October study by the Guttmacher Institute. Arguably, it is, Black women are the most churched people on the planet, but still showed up to vote against the evangelical candidate accused of sexual assault and pursuing teenage girls while holding public office. And of course, none of this has to do with political affiliation at all. It has everything to do with a moral stance. Yes. The uncomfortable truth is some women continue okay, I'm going to read it as it's written. The uncomfortable truth is some women continue to uphold the white supremacist and patriarchal attitudes they vowed to smash in 2017.
They're both white.
Yeah. Hillary Clinton called it when she said that white women married to men felt pressure to vote with their husbands and male relatives in mind, while single and Black women voted with the interests of all women in mind.
Of course they do. Yes. It's got to be those dumb white women are just doing what their husband tell them to. You know, when he's not in the voting booth and can't see what the fuck they're actually doing.
That's why they all voted for a man, a white man. The invisibility was perhaps most acutely obvious in the Time Magazine Person of the Year print cover, in which Tarana Burke, for fuck's sake, the founder of the hashtag #MeToo movement was not included. The founder of a hashtag.
Well, that's important.
The article took over 1,000 words to finally get to Burke's story, even though her hashtag led to an ongoing national conversation about sexual assault and harassment. A hashtag that had gone dormant for years, and probably somebody else just thought it up on their own without even knowing that she existed.
Real quick, thank you, P Dog Knight. I want my $2. I love you, dude. I love you.
Lawyer dog. Lawyer dog. Is P Dog Knight an actual lawyer? Did we ask this question?
We asked him. No, he's not.
Okay. Well, he should be. You should go get your law degree. Go past the bar. Okay. Where were we? The article took over 1,000 words to finally get to Burke's story, even though her hashtag. Reversing this kind of erasure.
Erasure.
That's a great band. Involves two important steps. When women change their relationship with men from submission to true partnership, we won't elect and focus on men who dominate women's bodies through sexual assault and harassment.
The fuck are you talking about?
How many women voted for Trump? Okay. Second, it's time for us to have a come to Jesus moment about how well the American experiment of democracy is really working. Donald Trump became president. That tells you that the experiment of democracy is working. I hate to tell people this, but the fact that Donald Trump was elected to the office of the President of the United States is actually one of the greatest examples of democracy in action.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you argue about the Electoral College all you like. It's the system we worked with, and it's the same system that Hillary Clinton would not be decrying if she had won. That's democracy in action.
It's also why Doug Jones won, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. That's what I don't understand. They saved democracy. Well, they saved democracy by voting when they had the right to vote because democracy was dwindling? What the?
Oh, okay. Damn. P-Dog says he's not a lawyer, but his granddad was. He got his law degree during the Great Depression.
Hey!
And he says, not common for a black man back then. No shit.
Lawyer dog.
Damn, that is awesome.
So grandson of lawyer dog.
That is fucking awesome.
That's cool. Let me get to the bottom of this because we're almost done.
I think the bottom of this is she's stupid.
Well, there's that too.
You meant the end of the article.
The end of the article, yes. Marginalized people vote in formation on race and social justice issues because we're still looking through the fence, waiting for the promises enshrined in the Constitution and Declaration of Independence to include us in the spirit and application of the law. Black women saved democracy by voting, oh speaker of ours. How did they do that if they did not have the right to vote?
Thank you, point curation. Peaceful transition of power is underrated. It's getting there, apparently.
What
the fuck is this?
Hold on, we're almost done.
What is this bitch talking about?
I don't know. Some white people assume how many is some? Some white people assume these values already do because they already enjoy the benefits without having to think about the meaning of them.
The fuck is she talking about?
But as here we go. Listen, okay. But as my friend Peter, a white man, says, quote, you can't truly be an American and tolerate racism, white supremacy, and male privilege. If you do, then you aren't really aware of what this democratic experiment is all about. Maybe
Peter's a moron.
Maybe real heroes don't wear capes, but we sure could use freedom, equality, and access for all to decent health care, education, and housing. And that's the end of the article. Okay. Kara Bolton, a I'll just be general and use the language as it's presented to me. A woman of color has had her opinion posted on CNN.com for everyone to see, where she tells us how black women voted in overwhelming numbers to elect a white man to a Senate seat over another white man who they either disagreed with morally, politically, or both. And democracy was somehow so much on the edge of the precipice of oblivion that this one vote, this one election, saved it.
Well, okay. I have this problem with a lot of people. It's far too many people out there hear some fucking buzzword or buzz phrase, and they just use it, and they don't know what the fuck it means. Democracy being in jeopardy means that you're in jeopardy, that it might not be there anymore.
Right.
The ability to vote, even if your candidate loses, doesn't mean democracy is no longer around.
That's proof that it is.
If Roy Moore had won, he would not have got into office, and suddenly the amendments after 10 would disappear.
Right.
And for the record, if they did, it wouldn't mean slavery was back. It wouldn't mean blacks wouldn't have the right to vote, because those amendments technically shouldn't have been needed. They just shouldn't have been. They were thrown in there to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
But under the actual law, then they shouldn't be needed, because the first 10 cover everybody. I fucking hate people. Now, I think Roy Moore's an idiot for saying it. I'm glad they're there because it does have that protection. But stop acting like one dude getting elected to the Senate, which makes him 1/100th of the fucking body there, is going to change everything. That's fucking retarded.
And even if he might have been politically on the side of the party that was in the majority, he himself, his ideas and his intentions are decidedly in the minority.
Mm-hmm.
Elsewise, why do you think there was so much opposition from left and right individuals to his being nominated and or elected?
There were stories, I read several today. Republicans are happy as fuck that this guy lost.
Yeah. I love it, and this is very obvious in the video I did a few days ago with the guy talking about monopoly as a analogy for life or whatever, wherein they love focusing on the bad stuff, but seem to completely ignore all the things that are working against what they say are bad. Like we will always bring up the fact that slavery was a thing, but somehow, and that history is important, but somehow all of the history that abolished it, that gave, that certified rights to everybody over the 60s and through the 90s, all of that's not even worth mentioning, as though that's less important than the bad stuff that we learned our lesson from. Now, Roy Moore will go into the dustbin of history, as it were, as a footnote of, wow, the system and the people rejected bad ideas from going into government. Isn't that actually a sign of good in the country and not a sign that we were on the precipice of destruction, for fuck's sake? Jesus.
No, because if thank you, Jaeger Pony, all existence lives matter.
Not My Little Ponies. They don't exist. Did I say that? Did I say that out loud? Uh-oh.
Oh God, I'm so tired of people whining about losing.
Or whining about winning. Whining about winning is even worse. We won.
But the idea here is that if they had lost, then democracy didn't exist.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm tired of, and she brought up here, was that Hillary Clinton thing. The idea that just because somebody votes different from you, it's got to be because their husbands are keeping them down.
Or the idea that Hillary Clinton is some kind of prophet.
Yeah. Well, Doug Moore is not just pro-choice. He is actually pro-abortion, and there's nothing wrong with saying that.
Mm-hmm.
So people who are actually against that and base their vote on it, which, by the way, I don't think that's a good way to base your vote, but it's your vote. Do how you want. Yeah, I could see them voting for Moore over Jones without their husbands being involved at all. Just throwing that out there. I mean, this. Oh God, I fucking hate this about politics.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you know what I'm waiting for?
Hmm.
I'm waiting for the article that asked what was wrong with the other 2 to 3% of black women.
Oh, the race traders.
Yeah, the Aunt Toms.
Oh, I hadn't heard that one
See,
before.
see what I did there?
Yeah, no, I see, I see.
Because I
Well
mean,
then,
if the white women's were bad, obviously those 2 to 3% had to be too.
I'm just really
Maybe,
curious.
you know what?
But,
They're probably married to white guys who wouldn't let them vote that way.
well, that's what I'm wondering is that they point out both. I mean, the CNN thing pointed out the percentage of the black female vote, the percentage of the black male vote, and the percentage of the white female vote. None of them mention what the percentages were for white males.
I've seen it somewhere. It was even more in favor of more.
Was it okay? I don't know. I mean, I
Yeah,
thought
Porco.
Okay.
Porco had tweeted it out earlier, and if my tweets hadn't blown up today, I would. And yeah, thank you, Pat, you ass. I would pull it up, but yeah, it was like 4 or 5% more than the women.
Oh, okay, because I thought the reason they weren't mentioning it is because it was effectively even split or something. Like didn't tell you anything, but okay.
No, they still went more for him.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at a graph that has white women or white men, white women, black men, black women, there's like a perfect slant going from Moore down to Jones. Guys, it is the bottom half of the hour. It's your turn. Questions, comments, concerns, anything you want us to talk about, throw it out there now. What were the percentages for the Grays, Scribe Light?
What, the aliens? Who knows?
The gray sexuals, I believe, or whatever it was.
Not the gray aliens. Oh, shucks.
No. You know, the first time I ever had an argument with somebody that would be on the social justice level was actually, I'd only been online for like a month, and some jackass told me he wasn't human.
What was he?
And I was like, what the fuck do you mean you're not human? He goes, I'm just not human. I said, well, what are you? He says, I don't know. And he was serious. He wasn't trolling me. This guy, I read through a bunch of his shit. Yeah, he honestly believed he was
something other than human.
Other than human.
I am subhuman.
Weirdest porno you've ever watched? The Devil and Mrs. Jones 2, because that movie opens with her writing a guy's face and he has a dick for a nose. And it is awesome.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, it's excellent.
The weirdest porno I've ever seen.
There's also a scene in there where she goes door to door selling humperware.
I never actually saw the actual porno, but I saw the clips of it on the Cinema Snob series from That Guy with the Glasses. The one of the few presenters from That Guy with the Glasses, which is actually really good. He reviewed the E.T. porno. Oh. It is one of the most disturbing and disgusting things I've ever seen.
And I haven't seen it, but there's that lemon porn out there, the lemon tree
porn.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I was like, I haven't seen the whole thing, but like the lemon one, the lemon tree one, the lemon stealing slut or whatever it is. The beginning of that is funny.
Quill wants to know if I've broken any bats' backs lately. No, sadly, I haven't seen any.
He sliced. I mean, like, okay, it's not just he broke its back; he sliced open its vertebrae.
I didn't slice it open. There was no blood. That bat was alive when it left my house. I don't know what happened to it. Rational Outlaw says net neutrality is not good. I did a video on it if you want to see. We're just going to have to disagree on that. Net neutrality is better than not net neutrality. It might not be good, but it's better than not.
It's better than bad. It's good.
Did you guys see Random McCann's Goys Will Be Goys? I have not. I don't watch Random McCann very often.
I don't watch Random McCann at all.
It's been a long time since I've watched him.
I don't like watching him for reasons. Anyway, so what else we got?
Quill says, how about the Cinema Snobs review of Strokemon? I don't know what that is. That was directed at you and me, Scribe, so I'm assuming it's porn.
What was the question? Sorry.
What about the Cinema Snobs review of Strokemon?
I don't think I saw that one. I've seen him do the review of the E.T. porn, the Ninja Turtles porn, the Beavis and Butthead porn, the Alice in Wonderland porn, and there was, I think, a Super Mario Brothers one. I didn't see that one though, so I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
Ashley Mented wants to know from all three of us our favorite Robin Williams movie. Probably for me, Dead Poet Society, and that's based on a lot of when I saw it, but I really like that movie.
Yeah,
even though it's really not a vehicle for him.
No, he's kind of a minor player in that, technically.
Yeah.
As an actor, 1 Hour Photo is probably his greatest sort of performance out of his usual character, let's say, because he's not being funny and he's creepy as fuck, and it's great.
I know a lot of people don't like this movie, and I can understand why, but I absolutely love Bicentennial Man. It makes me happy.
I remember you were going to say, yeah. I kind of that's one of those movies that if it's playing, I'll like just have like playing in the background, just kind of watch kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like it. It's one of those relaxing movies that don't like take me out of that I can watch without having to watch, and I've also seen it so many times, and I tend to prefer movies that I've seen before, so I don't have to pay attention.
Some Dumb American, have you read the Dresden series by Jim Butcher?
Nope.
Is that the mage, the modern mage, the Dresden Files guy? I saw the TV show a couple episodes of.
Have any of us seen Independence Day Resurgence? I still haven't watched it.
I have no interest. It looked stupid. I saw the final battle. I saw like a clip of the final battle, and I was just like, oh, goody. Giant CGI monster, and they have to go bigger because they can't just make a good movie or even just a good popcorn movie. And since they couldn't get Will Smith back, I really didn't give a shit.
This question is sort of for everyone, but I'm especially interested if you have any TV show suggestions talking to me. I just finished semester and need something to binge.
The Shield. Always The Shield.
I don't know. I'm still stuck on I've been watching it for months and months now. I just keep rewatching Married with Children. I fucking love that show.
If you've got Netflix, you could try Dark. It's German. I suggest watching it in the actual language and subtitles because it's sort of Stranger Things but German. It was pretty good. Ozark was really good, and if you haven't seen it yet, the Longmire series, you can get the whole thing on Netflix now. Longmire's a great show. That was a great show.
I just don't watch much TV anymore.
I watch way too much now.
Let's see what else we have. Weibo says, I still have 2 finals left. How should I celebrate after they're done? Marathon.
Oh, you're supposed to have a serial killer podcast with me or stream with me, Weibo. That's how you're supposed to celebrate. And also ask your boyfriend the 10 intersectional feminist questions in a serious voice.
Cara wants to know how she should get the essay on you being the person of the year to you, SDA.
Oh, you can email it to me at contact.somedumbamerican@gmail.com.
Syntax Error wants to know, is it cultural appropriation of blacks when whites break the law?
Oh.
Yikes.
Boo.
Do you know who Saint Michael is?
Vaguely.
I've heard the name.
Yes. Wasn't he the guy that John Travolta played in that movie, Michael?
Wait.
He was
Priestess of Keck says, you are dead to me, monkey. Married with Children was some of the worst Drek ever produced. Are you out of your fucking mind?
What?
Are you out of your fucking mind? That is one of the best shows ever.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is how great that show is. What, 30 years later, MGTOWs pop up in honor of Al Bundy. That's who MGTOWs are. They are Al Bundy. Seriously, if you watch,
I know, no,
especially
ma'am.
the later seasons, they are MGTOW. They are Al.
Yeah.
Do you know the story of the Tower of Babel? Yeah.
Yes.
Went to Sunday school. What else do we have here? What do Archangel Michael asked Prospero? I'm assuming is that who Saint Michael became? I don't know. It's been a long time since I was in Sunday school. What is the weirdest essay you had to write at school? In 4th grade, we had to write a first-person narrative about being an inanimate object.
I don't remember the subject exactly, but way back when in high school, one of my English teachers at the time, for some reason, was really obsessed with the Oklahoma City bombing.
Oh.
So if you could in any way relate an essay back to the Oklahoma City bombing, you got an A. I wrote so many essays on the Oklahoma City bombing from the most abstract, tangential directions. It was nuts. And so I cheated the system to get, but she gave me A's for them, so I didn't complain.
C3 section says I should rewatch Married with Children. I haven't seen it since I was in high school. You can find the entire season for like $25. I think Walmart has it at the moment. Not the entire. Did I say season? I meant series.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. I know we had some other questions in here. Where'd they go? Why? This is the part I hate, is trying to find the questions, because it does cause like some dead air. Magnificent Bastard says, Ranting Monkey, are you saying Al Bundy was the MGTOW prophet? Basically, yes. Grizilla says, I wonder how many. Yes, indeed. I wonder how many SJWs would be offended by Married with Children. Oh, so many.
They would not make that show today anywhere near.
You know what? Actually, they might like it, because more often than not, Marcy gets the best of Al, and she's just a hardcore feminist.
That is true.
Weibo says, Scribe DM me and we can figure out a stream date. Cool.
Keen
BG wants to know if you've got any hobbies other than YouTube, Scribe.
Hobbies other than YouTube. I play far too many video games for my own good. And lately, like binging TV shows, which is obviously not really a hobby or anything, but yeah, I don't know, hobbies. I used to have a lot of hobbies. I used to do LARP and collect comic books and other things. I've just sort of shifted and evolved over the years. Now I'm relatively boring, let's say.
C3 section wants to know if any of us are hyped for the Waco miniseries coming up next month.
Oh, I didn't even know there is one.
Neither did I.
No.
It would depend on how well they do it, if they actually are historically accurate. Because for those of you who weren't around during Waco, they made like, what, 3 TV movies based on that?
Yeah, and a really interesting documentary called Rules of Engagement, if you can find it.
Waco as in like the cult thing, or?
Yes. Yeah.
I would imagine so. The 3 TV movies all took basically the government's position, and we found out later how full of shit that was.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't as cut and dry as they said it was.
No.
That's not to say that Vernon Howell was some kind of innocent bystander or something, but there was a lot of shitty things going on both sides of the aisle in that one.
Yeah. SDA, this is a great question from BG. Are you dreading Ranting Monkey and your dad talking together?
No, why?
BG, you want to throw some of the whys that it might be bad for me to talk to her dad? Prospero wants to know favorite period.
Watches this, so I don't.
Yeah, he hears what I say.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to ask him what position him and your mom were in when they made you.
I mean, you can try asking my dad that. Like, go for it. He's not going to answer you.
What if he does?
He won't.
What if you find out you were conceived in the pile driver position?
It's not going to happen.
Um, Academic Hub says since she calls you both daddy, it could be awkward. She doesn't call me daddy. That's Irate Bear.
Yeah, I call Irate Bear daddy. And I don't call my dad daddy. I haven't done that since I was 4.
I looked real quick at the first couple seconds of the trailer for the Waco show. Yeah, I think they are approaching it from a bit more of a balanced thing because they already sort of preview some of the ATF's efforts to shape the narrative ahead of their assault. So
you mean lie like fuck?
What's the documentary called?
The documentary is called Rules of Engagement. It's like a 90s movie if you can find it. I don't even know if it's available anymore, probably somewhere. But yeah, Waco Rules of Engagement.
Magnificent Bastard, thank you so much. Can you live stream that meeting? Are you talking about with her dad? That's going to be on her channel tomorrow at 9
my dad's going to be on the channel tomorrow night, normal time. He's going to be streaming with us. He's our guest. It's going to be fun.
Lebo says she can say with almost certainty she was conceived in the missionary position, which, chat, what position do you think you were conceived in?
Shotgun wedding.
Oh. Oh, yeah. BG says, some dumb American, you've already said Ranting Monkey has corrupted your dad. Window licking retard. Oh, maybe I'll have him pick up something else. Pat wants to know what your dad's going to think about him.
He likes you.
That was easy.
I mean, I think you guys are like expecting like some really crazy answers. I'm sorry.
Prospero says, damn it, what's your favorite period in history? And don't let STA interrupt, Ranting Monkey. Did she interrupt me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes questions just fly through. I don't remember you doing it either. If you're talking about studying history, for me, both the American Revolution and the Civil War are just such interesting times to study. If you're more talking about like what time would you prefer to live in, just the present. There's no part of history I'd want to be a part of.
I think we've talked about that, where like I'd like to live in the present, where we have medical attention.
My favorite period in history is the one that comes at the end of the preamble of the Constitution. Ha! Ha ha ha!
I like your dad jokes best of all.
Blizzard and period. Man, I'm on a roll tonight.
Oh, Bloodwing says he was probably conceived in the wheelbarrow.
God.
That would be great. Can you imagine, finding out that that's how you were actually conceived? Let's see. Not into intestinal parasites then, Monkey? I don't know what that's in. What did I say that would be relevant to? Oh, periods in history. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good.
Yeah.
Captain Bramble says he wants to go back to the 80s with all the knowledge I have now. Yeah, if I could go back to just 10 years ago, absolutely.
Yeah, invest in Yahoo.
Rational Outlaw says I was an accident. Me too. I'm the product of an affair. Beat that.
I was unexpected. I wasn't an accident so much, but I was unexpected because my parents didn't think they had.
So.
And when the plan didn't go right, they decided not to have any more children.
Mm-hmm. Actually, all right, yeah, it's fine.
Come on, that was funny. Come on.
It's not funny.
Oh, Lord.
I love you.
Oh, God.
Nothing? Okay.
Ashley Mented, plan on doing a movie review of Act of Valor. Is that De Niro and Cuba Gooding Jr.? It was one of those inspiring movies kind of things. It was okay. It's not bad. It's all right. I don't think I'd put it on there as movies you should have watched necessarily. Medicine Man at some point in the future. Medicine Man with Sean Connery. That is definitely a movie you should have watched. I'll get that there someday.
My little brother was a whoopsie baby. Thankfully, he's only 4 years younger than I am. Yeah. My best friend, their whoopsie baby came when their, at the time, youngest was 9.
Oh, that was Men of Honor Scribe. Oh, sorry. Act of Valor, Men of Honor. You'll forgive me.
Act of Valor is about the SEALs.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, my bad.
You know,
They blend together after a while.
if we're gonna do a movie about the SEALs, we got to do Navy SEAls.
Navy SEAls, yeah. Charlie Sheen jumping off the bridge as they go to the wedding
yeah.
reception or whatever. It was amazing. And then like my favorite part is where the guy's like there on the ground and he pulls out his microphone. He goes, "Can you hear me, God? God here." It's the guy with the giant sniper rifle with like the 50 cal. It's like, holy shit.
I think part of that was shot on the ship my friend's dad worked on.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love Navy SEAls. I saw it in the theater when it came out.
Anybody in the military or in the Navy who actually sees this hates that fucking movie.
It's awful. It's awful in the technical sense, but it's so much fun.
Awesome popcorn movie.
Yeah, it is. Oh, Navy SEAls.
Don't feel bad, SDA. I gravely regret only having one kid. Aw.
Oh.
Have another.
Yeah.
Or your cooter still works, doesn't it?
They didn't mean to only have me. Like,
did they try to
have more? Yeah.
You think they're trying to have more right now?
No.
Are you sure?
You're disgusting. Yeah, I'm positive.
Do you hear springs?
Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
G.I. Jane. Angela says G.I. Jane. Actually, you know what? I like G.I. Jane. I do like that movie. That's a fun movie. Even if it is all like because honestly, it's one of the few movies that's like, okay, the girl says, no, treat me equally like everybody else. I don't want a stepladder. And I'm like, good. That's how the whole equality thing's supposed to work. You measure up to everybody else. I don't know how realistic it actually is, but the story's one I like. And Viggo Mortensen's awesome.
Oh, Skeptalk says his roommate at Officer Candidate School was a SEAL. Sweet.
No, mine was a walrus.
Looking for that tight seal. I think that's my favorite laugh I've ever heard out of you.
Oh, I have several. I just practice.
I mean, I like your big laugh. Don't get me wrong, but that was awesome. 9 minutes left, guys. Questions, comments, concerns. Let's see. What have I missed here? I was the son my father never had. My brother hated it whenever I said that.
Oh, Cozy, I'm sorry. He tried to reverse sterilization less than 10%.
Oh. Yeah, it sucks.
There's always adoption. I don't know. UZQ says your puns are bad, Scribe Light. Yeah, no, I am well aware of how bad they are. I'm not.
Some of them are beautiful.
I do not certify them as quality. Trust me.
Renting Monkey, have your kids walked in on you having sex? No. Lady Monkey is very
discreet.
She is on the ball, making sure that shit doesn't happen.
On the ball. Monkey's only got the one.
Well, I have two, but they're so big she only fits on the one. She's a little woman. There was a time we were getting frisky upstairs, and the kids were playing downstairs, and we suddenly heard them on the stairs and had to stop what we were doing. But we hadn't actually got to sex. So, Cryptic, thank you so much. What do cow pies and cowgirls have in common? The older they get, the easier they are to pick up. That's funny and gross.
Cow poop and women.
Net says they may be cancerous, then you might want to have them checked. No, I've just always had big nuts. Quill wants to know why it feels like the world hates him.
It does. That's why.
Yeah. Hate it back.
Yeah.
I and my brother were both adopted, says UZQ.
Yeah, trust me, there are more things the world has working against us than for us most of the time, except for oxygen and oxygen. That's about it. Everything else we have to do for ourselves. So yeah, the world hates us all.
Oh, let's see. I'm not sure what's going on with this comment, but the Cozy Comfortable Poetry channel says, yeah, she still interrupts my videos, not sex.
Her child.
Oh, okay.
Videos when she's making videos. That's my guess. I could be mistaken, but I think that's what she was going for.
Yeah, you don't want your kid cock blocking you. You gotta duct tape them down when you're getting ready to do the nasty.
Yes, duct tape your child to the bed, everyone. That is the best advice Monkey has for you.
To their bed, not yours. That would be creepy.
The bed, whatever. Yes. Okay.
Let's see. Guys, we got 6 minutes left. Not seeing questions. I feel like you're letting me down tonight. I'm just kidding. You guys are awesome. What else do we have going on? Programming note, this Sunday we're going to be on Scribble's channel unless anything changes, correct?
Yes, doing Gremlins, the wonderful Christmas classic. Gremlins, microwaves at the ready. And blenders too.
Syntax error will not ask that question, sorry. SDA, did you get Kara's email? Kara?
I'll check when after we get off stream and I'll let you know.
Melissa Rapp says,
Weebo wants to...
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, Melissa Rapp says, what's the worst question ever received? Yours, Melissa. Congratulations.
Well done. Rational
You
Outlaw
guys are meanie butts.
Rational Outlaw wants to know how big my penis is. Check my Twitter if you're interested in that. Weebo Jones wants to know our favorite type of juice.
Jesus, because he was king of the juice.
Fucker. Probably pineapple juice.
I
like peach as well.
There was a I don't know if they make it anymore, but they do. There was this Ocean Spray strawberry cranberry mix that was actually really good. I like that. Oh, sorry, strawberry white cranberry juice. That's what it was. Strawberry white cranberry juice. It was yummy.
Academic Cub wants to know if I ever drank at the bar from Navy SEALs. No, I left Virginia when I was 17.
Bruni Strongbear for Scribe. I'm thinking of taking ideas from Star Wars and putting them in my game. I'm assuming your role-playing game. What's the best place to start learning about the Star Wars universe? Well, first and foremost, watch the original trilogy. That's the first place you can start. And after that, Wikipedia is the place I would recommend. Although you're going to have to wade through the differences between the expanded universe, the old canon, and the new canon. Either that or there are lots of role-playing book supplements out there that you can probably find for cheap from West End Games and places that have all types of extra Star Wars concepts and ideas. So yeah, Wikipedia is a good place to start, but definitely watch the movies first, and or watch Clone Wars, the TV series. It's got a lot of stuff in it.
Watch Clone Wars, the TV series, no matter what. Just do it. Like, even if you don't give a shit about, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
I tried watching it. I couldn't.
So good.
Wade through the first couple seasons because they do get better. It's just a tough ramping up of the quality. Some are easier than others.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. There's actually a site you can look at that will tell you if you just want to watch like the important episodes, that will tell you like which episodes you can just skip altogether. There's not like a lot of them that I would skip because even if they're not like part of the overarching story, it's still some interesting bits of lore if you care. But as you watch it, you'll get to where you'll like an episode will start and it'll just be like the clone troopers with Yoda doing nothing, and you'll be like, we can skip this.
Oh, Brunei says Scribe would actually be a video game in the same line of Fallout with a better story. Look up Wikipedia online and watch the movies. That's the best I can tell you.
Evil Clipanzi says, who do you think, and thank you for the donation, who do you think would win in a fight? Doctor Who versus Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange is the master of the mystic arts and sorcerer supreme. He could totally whoop Doctor Who's ass by teleporting him to the dark dimension, and then Doctor Who would have no way out because time does not exist there, so he's got no power.
Well, all Doctor Strange would have to do is conjure a dentist and send him at that English motherfucker, and he'd be done.
Oh, Doctor Strange is a doctor. We just don't know of what really. They kind of
maybe he is a dentist.
Well, they retconned him into being a brain surgeon or neurosurgeon, but they never really specified per se in the original origin story. So,
let's see.
SWOTOR or KOTOR? I'll take KOTOR over SWOTOR. SWOTOR is ballooned into nonsense.
Yeah. The problem with making something like that, and I said this before it ever came out, is they're still beholden to, at the time it was LucasArts and now Disney. the guys at BioWare make great stuff. They really do, but they need to be turned loose and let them use their imagination however they want to. And you just can't do that with a property. I really wish they would have just came up with their own. And on that, guys, it's pretty much the top of the hour. By the time I'm done with this, it will be. So we're going to say goodnight. Chat, thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for engaging us. It really does help. I'm sorry we can't catch your comments all through the show, but that last half hour, honestly, is probably my favorite part. And thank you guys for participating. You're awesome. Scribe, SDA, a pleasure as always. Everyone, your life makes me sad. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.